Hey guys, welcome to my 400 sub Q&A video. So to begin with, I just wanted to say a massive thank you for every like, comment and subscription I've had in the last 4 years. Absolutely loved my YouTube journey so far, and the people I've met as well. Been absolutely amazing. And so big thanks to everyone who's asked me a question in this Q&A vid. So I know these can take a while, so we're going to get straight into it. And the first person up is Interghost, and the Q&A draw will be at the end, unless this is part one because the video is too long. Anyway, Interghost. So, Interghost asked me 5 questions. Question number 1, what childhood board games do you still own? Well, if you've seen my 90s Kids series, this is a planned video I have got coming up, but I will answer it. Off the top of my head, I've still got Frustration, Connect 4, Monopoly, I think, and Pictionary. Those are the ones I can remember. I don't think I've got a lot. Maybe Scrabble. I'm not sure if I've still got Sabutio as well. But I think we got rid of a lot of the board games. And I think I remember ones I had when I was a kid. One called Sunken Treasure. Trick or Treat. I think that was like this dial, like you spun. And it would have to land on either like a day or something else to do. I can't exactly remember, but yeah. Screwball Scramble, I think I might still have that one. But yeah. So question number 2, here we go. Why do the Welsh speak English? Well, basically, we think the Welsh language is too difficult for the English people to learn because you're not as intelligent as us. So that's why we learned English in order to communicate with yourselves. Question number 3, why is Bucky O'Hare green? I imagine because he's an alien. Favorite non-gaming YouTube channel and why? Now this is a difficult question because there's a lot of channels I like, non-gaming channels, and to pick one is difficult. But I'm going to go with the person who I used to watch when I first started YouTube. He inspired me the way he did his videos. I liked his personality on screen. That was Charlie McDonnell. He does, like, how would you describe the guy? He does like a lot of different like kind of scenarios. He does his own music, different skits. He's doing a series at the moment called Fun Science. Just all like science experiments, but making them fun. Anyway, I just like the guys. He inspired me to go more out there because my first few videos, I was just, my hand was in front of the screen with a game going, here's my NES collection, here's like Bucky O'Hare, here's Mario, here's blah blah. And then I was just seeing a bit dull and drab. But then when I saw him and just go for it, I decided to go for it myself and just be who I wanted to be. So there you go, Charlie McDonnell. And question number 5, when will Challenge Matt be back? Okay, I've got no plans to bring it back. But saying that, if you want to leave comments below saying what you challenge me to, as long as they're not like really dangerous, I might consider bringing the series back. Okay, we'll go for that. And that is Interghost questions. So thank you for those. Okay, next we have Old Style Gaming. Will you ever get a lampshade over that bulb? Must be dazzling when it's on. Okay, I'll go and show you guys what he's on about. Okay, so here is that bulb that Old Style Gaming is on about. So you can see this in the background of all my videos when I'm recording. And the answer is no, I'm not going to get a lampshade for it because I've got a history of destroying lampshades, especially when I was a kid. And actually, when it's on, it's not that bright. I mean, it doesn't blind you or dazzle you, so yeah, I think it's pretty much going to stay like that. Then again, maybe I'll get some kind of cool, geeky, retro anime thing going. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Okay, so has everyone seen my t-shirt as well? Eat, sleep, YouTube, repeat. Pretty much sums me up. Okay, so our next set of questions are from On a Retro Tip. Number 1 is, what is your favourite aspect of making videos? This is definitely the interaction with my subscribers. Having like comments at the end when you've uploaded a video is awesome. I just love it. Yeah, there's interaction with different YouTubers. You know, if you said to me when I first started my channel that I'd actually be meeting up or getting 400 subscribers or making so many friends, I would have said, no way. Favorite aspect of actually making videos though is just making videos on things I love and then sharing that with the world, pretty much, and meeting like-minded people because of it. Okay, number two, where is the most beautiful place you've been walking? Okay, so I have walked quite a few places, especially where I live, there's a lot of countryside. But one of the nicest views I've ever had is at the top of Penavon, which is like our highest mountain in southern Wales and in southern Britain. And the views up there are phenomenal. The walk kills me every single time. Well, we did it twice. But once you get to the top, oh man, it's amazing. The first time I went up, it was that cloudy and windy, gale force winds, man. You couldn't see a thing up there. But the second time I went up was last summer. Oh, it was beautiful. I've got photos of that on Facebook as well, and quite possibly Instagram. If you look for Matropolis 86 Instagram, go for it. Number three, if you could ever see any long abandoned video game franchise or cartoon series revived, what would it be? Video game series, definitely Monkey Island, because I'd love Ron Gilbert to get the rights back to it and then do an official third game, because we know he wasn't involved in the Curse of Monkey Island onwards, but they were such awesome games. The comedy, the adventure, oh man, back in the day, they were my favourite. Still are. Cartoon series revived, I think everyone knows what my answer will be to this one. It would obviously be Bucky O'Hare. If they did it correctly, don't ruin it, I will kill you. Because the first series only had 13 episodes. There could have been a lot more as well, because I've spoken to the guy who's created Bucky O'Hare, Larry O'Hammer, and he said there is a second graphic novel unpublished that's just like resting in a drawer in his office, and I'm like, what are you doing? Get out there, publish it now. More comics, more movies, whatever, series, cartoons, video games. A video game would be awesome for that. I know we have had video games, but imagine a current gen video game, open world universe, fighting against toads. No brainer. If you could travel anywhere in the world, all expenses paid, where would you go? Okay. I want to see the Grand Canyon, so I'd probably pick that place. Yeah, or New Zealand as well. California, Vegas, Grand Canyon, Canada. I've got a few places left on my list I want to go. Obviously, I did Tokyo last year, which was absolutely amazing. And his last question, which console computer have you discovered in adulthood that you wish you had or played as a kid? I'm going to take one that's close to your heart, actually, Pete, and say the Sega Dreamcast. Because the only time I played on it as a kid, which is not very often, one of my friends, his older brother, had one, and we played a few games on there. I can't remember exactly what, but since joining YouTube, I've seen a lot more games for it, and they look pretty neato. Neato? Where's that word come from? So I think I would go for Sega Dreamcast. So thank you for all the questions so far. Okay, Soul Funk Retro, the man who's provided the prize for us all to win, but he could win it back. Okay, so I haven't got it with me at the moment, so I've kept it packaged up. It's, to keep it as neat as possible. Okay, so Soul Funk asks, do you think emulation and having every game available waters down the experience of playing a game, in that there's value in buying a game compared to the availability of games through emulation? Yeah, interesting question. Because with emulation, it's good that you've got access to basically everything, like all the old like Mega Drive, NES, Commodore 64, and so on, and it's less storage, and you can play it there and then. But does that take away the value of having the actual physical copy? I'm going to say probably yes, because when you've got the physical copy, you've got the real thing. The original manufactured cartridge, hopefully, the booklet, the artwork. I think it's definitely a lot more nostalgia in that, a lot more value than just putting on a console, booting up a title called Donald Duck, Lucky Dime Caper, or whatever it is. Join. So I'd say it probably does water down the experience of playing the actual proper game, because then you can have in your collection, well, and it feels like you've got it there, you've accomplished something, you've paid for yourself. Saying that though, with emulation, I can see why people do it because, especially for collectors now, people realize how many people are into retro gaming and they charge extortionate prices. I honestly don't know where these prices come from sometimes, to be honest, but that's it. I guess if it's rare. But yeah, I would prefer to have the physical copy if I had a hell of a lot more space. Okay, Colin's Fitness and Movies. The guy who has changed his YouTube name about 7 times since I started YouTube. What is your long-term goals in both YouTube and life in general? Oh dear me, one of these questions. Okay. For YouTube, I would love to reach 500 subscribers. I think that's a good milestone to go for. Currently on 419 watching this, so that'd be awesome to have. I've never had like any plans on YouTube to get famous, anything like that. I don't think I could. I don't think it would happen. But as long as I keep on making videos that I enjoy, meeting other people, that's just what it's all about for me. I love doing that. Life in general, bloody hell. Okay. So I'm single, and I'm the kind of person who's happy being single. I don't really want a relationship. I'm not looking for anything. But saying that, if it did come along, I met someone I fell in love with, then yeah, of course I would go for it and do all the family stuff, blah yada yada. But I am happy as I am. Keep on making videos. Well, there is something I'm involved in. A live action fan film of Marine Boy. I'm working with this guy in Australia called Rick, and he owns his own like film production company, and they film like music videos and weddings, and he wants to do his own live action fan film of Marine Boy. And I discovered him for YouTube, and because he realised I was a big fan of the show and I knew quite a lot about it, he asked me to join the team. So I admin his Facebook page for him. I've written a script for like a teaser we're gonna do, and so hopefully something will come of that, because that'd be really awesome to see. But yeah, anyway, moving on from our life dreams and goals. Adam Reese, old school friend of mine. Now this is a deep question, okay, so bear with me. Some people believe that if life has no purpose, then there is no reason for living, while others think that if life has no purpose, that frees a person to find, create and follow their own personal purpose. Which is more a valid point of view, or are they both equally valid? Alright, I'm going to say, I guess, this all comes down to the individual. I think both points are valid, but it depends on you, how you view life. Now, to me, I think life does have a purpose. I do believe in God. I believe like life's all about relationships. But for those who don't believe, we've all got a purpose. I think you can, and if you feel you haven't got a purpose, you've definitely got to like create a purpose. I was talking about this last night with some of the other YouTubers on WhatsApp. Oh man, it's a difficult one. It's too deep to get into. But they are valid points. I know some people believe life has no purpose and there's no reason for living. I would encourage those people to come talk to me, and I'll try and change your opinion on that. But I think it's good to have a purpose and create our own goals for ourselves. Otherwise, what are you going to do? You're just going to go through like life boring, doing nothing. What are you going to try and accomplish? Life starts when you get out of your comfort zone. It's a phrase I like. Okay, so we move on from that one. Super Nintendo. Where do you keep all your stuff? Never see a collection video or anything. Actually, I do have collection videos on my channel. What I'll try and do is make a playlist and add those collection videos to the playlist then. But I've done my Mega Drive collection, NES, PlayStation 3, Commodore 64, so they are around. Where do I keep them? Okay, let's go have a look. Okay, so I've actually got a shelving unit where I keep all my games. So I've got PlayStation 4 at the top. This is where I keep all my current gen. Down here now, this shelf is my to-do pile. All these games I haven't played or haven't finished. So I've still got some PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and then the rest of this is just anime, TV series, Blu-ray films, and my Japanese collection at the bottom, which we'll save for another video. But then in here, let's try and open this. I've got my little statue collection. So I've got a Batman collection, Pokemon, Link's lying down. Bought those in Japan last year. More Batman. Bucky O'Hare, the new releases. Awesome! Random video game statues here. Darkwing Duck as well. I think Lloyd Irving at the back in the middle of the red guy is one of my favourites from Tales of Symphonia. Down here, guys, is my Japanese collection. Got some old Marine Boy merchandise and Marvel things. Bucky O'Hare there. So yeah, but I will do a video on that in more depth. And then Bruce Newton wanted to know as well, what are in the what games do I have in the cupboard behind me? Well, here we go. This is where I keep my Mega Drive and Nintendo stuff. So we've got Fantastic Dizzy. Then behind it we've got some NES games, and for some reason some Mega Drive tucked in the corner by there, excuse me. And then a lot more Mega Drive at the top as well. It's a bit of a mess at the moment, but there are collection videos, so I will create a playlist for that. Okay, so moving on to the next question. It is from Sir Kipling. Sir Kipling is an acquaintance of mine in work, shall we say? Okay, so he has asked, Lucy Lawless, Jennifer Lawrence and Amy Jo Johnson. Which would you snog, marry, avoid? Okay, so, bit cruel there. They're all very nice. But I would avoid Jennifer Lawrence. I'll tell you why in a minute. I would snog Amy Jo Johnson and marry Lucy Lawless. I absolutely love Lucy Lawless. I loved her in Xena Warrior Princess, when she was in Spartacus. It was the moment of my life meeting her in New York Comic Con back in 2013. I was awesome. Only a few seconds, but those seconds were the best. Amy Jo Johnson, probably the first crush I ever had as a kid when Power Rangers aired. I think a lot of teenage boys, or I don't think even teenagers actually, loved Amy Jo Johnson at the time. Kimberly, Pink Ranger. And the only reason I would avoid Jennifer Lawrence out of those three is because I've got a lot more nostalgia for the other two. So, marry Lucy, snog Amy, avoid Jennifer. Boom. Okay, so Tootie UK asks, are there any other toy or cartoon toy lines that you have collected for that you might consider in the future? Well, since doing a 90s kid, I've actually bought back a few toys I've lost over the years because they meant a lot to me, and I thought I definitely need to feature these in the videos. I actually published a 90s kid video yesterday. Well, by the time this goes up, it wouldn't be yesterday. Showing my Street Sharks collection. Now, I love those figures. They're like quite different from your normal action figures. They're quite bulky, a lot of detail on them. I think I would definitely look to get some more Street Shark figures because they do look pretty beast. But a couple of years back as well, I was tempted to collect more Power Ranger stuff because there's all the different types of like Megazords and Rangers and monsters you've got over the years now. They look pretty cool, but I think I would stick to like the original series. I haven't got a clue what's going on with Power Rangers these days. Well, they're on like season 30 now. It's crazy. But yeah, a lot of the toys I've got I would definitely consider looking to get more of. Biker Mice as well, as you well know. Like Bucky O'Hare, obviously that toy line ended a long time ago. I've got all that stuff. But I'm getting all the new Bucky O'Hare figures that Boss Fight Studios are releasing. And they've just announced Bruiser, the Beetlejuicean Berserker Baboon. So I'm looking forward to that, and I've got a Toad Stormtrooper on pre-order. Now my only problem is I am running out of space, but it's so worth it.